Hello, my name is Nikki Veit, rhymes with might. I own my own training business called NV Strong, and today I am here to answer the question, why do you, aka me, like kettlebells so freaking much? First of all, let's answer the question, what is a kettlebell? A kettlebell is that medieval-looking cannonball with a handle that you typically see abandoned, neglected on the gym training floors. Sometimes you go to a gym and they have loads of kettlebells and you can clearly tell that this is more of a kettlebell dominant gym. But unfortunately, more times than not, those kettlebells are being neglected and people are more right to pay attention to the barbells and the dumbbells and the machines and such, which I'll get back to in a moment. My background in kettlebell training goes all the way back to 2014 when I attended my first legit kettlebell class. It was led by a certified kettlebell instructor who was very passionate and skilled in kettlebell coaching. And just like anyone might have a phenomenal experience in a group class, that kind of blew my mind. I was like, whoa, I can use this one tool to conquer strength, cardio, core, everything, and this dude seems really passionate about it, so I want to learn more about this. Then when I became a certified personal trainer, I ended up getting 2 different kettlebell training certifications to train my clients in it. The first was in 2016 through a company called Dragon Door, and then in 2018 through a company called Strong First. I'm repping them right now. And this has just become one of those tools that I use with every single client. Now, I've trained over 200, maybe 300 people by now in my training career, and there is not a single client that I didn't at least use the kettlebell at some point or another. And furthermore, I've convinced a lot of my clients to buy kettlebells for their own home gym equipment, which I'll get to later on. Now, amidst all this kettlebell training that I got into with my clients, I also competed in kettlebell competitions. And humble brag, I actually did win first place among the women in one competition in 2018. And that was a true highlight for me in both my training and athletic endeavors. Now, to get into the real meat of this conversation, which is asking me why do I like kettlebells so much, I want to break down 5 very distinct points that make the kettlebell unique as opposed to dumbbells and barbells and other machine or cable resistant type strength training. Number 1, the kettlebell is portable. What does that mean? I mean, I can literally take one kettlebell, a 16 kilo or a 12 kilo or a 20 kilo. I can throw it in the back of my car. I wouldn't throw it. I would buckle it in very safely. But I can literally put that kettlebell in the back of my car and take it anywhere. I can take it to a local park. I could take it to a friend's house. I could take it on a road trip with me and never have access to a commercial gym and do countless different workouts with that kettlebell. So I really appreciate how portable it is. Barbells, not super portable. My car can't fit those 6-foot long barbells, and they're really difficult to maneuver around even a space like your living room. Dumbbells, super portable, absolutely. But when we get into reason number 2, the versatility aspect of a kettlebell, you'll see why I tend to opt for kettlebells over dumbbells. Speaking of which, the kettlebell is super versatile, meaning there are multiple purposes that you can use this kettlebell for. You can achieve major strength gains, full body strength, or body part, muscle part specific strength training. You can do major cardio by ways of ballistic movements like swings and snatches. You can get in some major core work, like people that just want to focus on ab training, you can do it with your kettlebell. And also you can get in some major arm pump work. So like biceps and tricep training, you can do it with a kettlebell. I don't find that you can achieve all of these same things with a barbell or with a dumbbell. Yes, you can do dumbbell snatches, but I would never recommend someone to do dumbbell swings. Same, you could do barbell snatches and you could do barbell like Olympic lifts, what they do in CrossFit. And that's super cardio and strength specific in one movement. But again, I wouldn't recommend necessarily that you're swinging a barbell, because that's not only gonna feel super awkward, but it's going to be more injury prone than, say, swinging with a kettlebell, which is what it's made for. It's dynamic, it's ergonomic in its design, and it's designed for more ballistic movements like that. Reason number 3, I love the weight distribution in a kettlebell, meaning it's asymmetrical, right? The bell has the majority of the weight, whereas the handle is designed with lighter kettlebells, the handles are smaller. With heavier kettlebells, the handles get thicker, maybe wider, but that weight is mostly distributed in the base, in that bell portion of the kettlebell. What does this mean for us? That means that when you hold a kettlebell on your forearm, that weight is actually behind and below your hand, which is the opposite of a dumbbell, right? When you're holding a dumbbell, that weight is evenly distributed on either side, but with a kettlebell, that weight is sitting back there. This makes you have to use a lot more grip strength, wrist stability, and it makes it so much more of a dynamic, uniquely loaded piece of equipment, because for majority of the other options, dumbbells, barbells, cables, machines, the weight is evenly distributed, right? So when I have an asymmetrically loaded piece of equipment, my core, the rest of my body has to make up for that asymmetry by keeping everything locked in tight. This idea of hard style kettlebell training is this idea of maintaining tension in the entire body, bracing your core for every movement, using intra-abdominal pressure with that breathing that you hear in a lot of kettlebell swings and snatches and such. And it just creates this all-around effect of total tension, really having to use your core throughout. I don't know a single person that doesn't want to do core training within every workout. And with that uneven weight distribution, it's basically designed to give you extra oomph in your core training. Now, point number 4, I started to mention it, your grip and wrist, specifically strength and stability, right? When I'm holding onto a dumbbell, I can kind of loosen up my grip a little bit because it's less likely that it's gonna go anywhere. Whereas when I'm holding onto a kettlebell, I need to hold on tight, especially when I'm doing swings and snatches. Otherwise, that kettlebell is going flying. So when I'm holding on tight to that kettlebell, whether I'm doing ballistic movements or if I'm just walking around doing farmer's carries or walking around doing racked carries, you better believe I'm trying to choke those handles to death, and that's gonna get all my forearm flexor muscles turned on and my grippy strength muscles turned on. A lot of clients come to me, and one of the first concerns they bring to my attention is their lack of grip and wrist strength. And so when I hear a client say that, I'm like, bing, kettlebells, specifically bottoms up kettlebell training. This makes the kettlebell even more unique than dumbbells, than barbells, and all your machine loaded exercises, because I can hold that kettlebell bottoms up and all of a sudden I've messed with that weight distribution once again. It requires that I have a tight grip. It requires that the weight pushes down on the heel of my palm, a neutral wrist, right? Not a broken wrist. A straight vertical neutral wrist. It requires tension in the forearm, getting that shoulder joint stable. So if you specifically are someone that feels that you need to work on your grip and wrist, pick up a kettlebell. Try both a classically held kettlebell where it's racked against the forearm, and try that bottoms up variation. Start with a light kettlebell because it'll automatically add like 5 to 10 pounds to that kettlebell when you're balancing it bottoms up, but you'll notice immediately how much grip and wrist strength and stability you will need to operate that bell. Final point I want to bring up today is the Banff Factor. Trigger warning, I'm about to swear, it's the badass motherfucker factor. Personally, I think everyone looks badass with a kettlebell, whether they're doing complexes, which is a series of movements strung together, or they're doing snatches. I mean, you could even just be doing goblet squats and something about it just looks cool, especially when someone knows what they're doing with a kettlebell. I mean, how many times have you been to the gym and you see someone using a kettlebell and they're swinging the bell way too high, or they're trying to do squats and they don't even look like they know what they're doing. They just decided to change it up today. I mean, yes, you can look ridiculous using a kettlebell if you're not using it properly, but for those of us that are certified or those of us who have been properly trained by a coach, you just look so much more badass yielding that kettlebell. Now, I could go on for another hour or two about my love for the kettlebell, but I hope this video was informative enough and I got my passion across, because I really believe the kettlebell is for all bodies, whether you're an athlete and you're training off season, whether you're just, a mom that works from home that's trying to stay generally healthy and strong for their kids and their family, or maybe you're someone that really wants to increase your strength and your muscularity. You can use kettlebells for all of these purposes. And furthermore, since we're in this 2021 landscape, people are not going to the commercial gyms or the public gyms as they were a year ago, 2 years ago. So if you are looking for a piece of equipment to invest in for a home gym, kettlebell, hands down, get yourself a kettlebell. For women, I would recommend starting with an 8 kilo and a 12 kilo kettlebell, getting two for different purposes. And for men, I would say a 12 kilo and a 16 kilo. Or if you're someone who's super strong, scale it up. For women, you can get a 12 and a 16 kilo, and for men, you can get a 16 and a 24 kilo. So it really depends on your experience level with the kettlebell, because then you can go up in the weight. But if you're brand new to the kettlebell, start a bit lighter at first and check out my YouTube videos. I have over 200 exercise tutorial videos, most of them breaking down kettlebell movements. And I've got the Quarantined Kettlebell Club, which brings you 4 weekly virtual classes that you can attend through Zoom video, and we are open to all skill levels. So as soon as you get that kettlebell at home, hit me up and we will get you training with that kettlebell, get you stronger, get you healthier, get you fitter for life.